When I was in 7th grade, I took a push-up test during school, and I was expecting to get somewhere in the 20s, maybe 30s. I was really optimistic about it, despite not doing any push-ups at all, and I got 13 push-ups. I was super disappointed. I wanted to give up, go home, and just like lay down forever. And I told myself that day that I would do push-ups every day. I didn't tell myself how long I would do them. I just said I would do them every day. And I started with 15 a day, right? Because that's basically what I could do. And slowly, we built it up. 30, 40, 50, 60, then 70. And 2 years later, I stopped at 70 because it was just getting boring, just doing push-ups every single day. And that was the first time I ever saw muscle growth, which was 3 days before I gave up, or before I quit, not gave up. And it taught me that you can make muscle from calisthenics. A lot of people think that calisthenics people are pretty skinny, and some of them are, but that's not the case for everybody. You can make muscle, and I'm here to teach you how, right? So the first thing you have to understand is the difference between skills like planche, front lever, and sets and reps, or weighted, which is dips, pull-ups, and I guess you could include muscle-ups in there too. And so one of these makes you muscle, one of these gives you strength. And so for the planche, for the front lever, you can make muscle, but it is very hard, and you kind of have to train in more of a sets and reps based approach. So I'll explain that. So sets and reps is just exactly what it sounds like. How many reps you can do and how many sets. So if you're training for front levers or planches, you can't really make muscle just by training that. You can, but it would be very, very small compared to the other part. And so if you want to make muscle during that, you'd either one, have to do the front lever pull-ups and just count the sets and reps of that, or, and this is the one I did, you make muscle before and then start doing front levers and whatever skills you want, right? You can't really train for it specifically and then make muscle at the same time. I've never seen that before. If you can, then good for you, keep doing that, but I don't know. Anyways, sets and reps. This is, as I said, dips and pull-ups, and I guess you can include push-ups in this, but no one does weighted push-ups. And the reason this works so well is because I have no idea, but it works. I promise you it works. And basically, the strategy for this is test your max out, test your max weight, test max reps, and increase that over time. That's basically how you make muscle in calisthenics. It's as simple as that. So I'll give you an example. When I first started, I could do 4 pull-ups, and they were slow as hell. That was like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. And over time, I built it up to 20 pull-ups. I think that was probably a year ago. And then I tested my max weighted, and it was like, I don't know, 20 pounds, 25 pounds, 20 pounds, something like that. And over the last year, I slowly built it up to, I think, 80, which is not bad, but we're gonna keep going. Anyways, from that, I built a pretty decent back. I hate back day at the gym, so those really helped me because that's the only exercise I did for back, really. Just a quick word, if you want to subscribe to my Patreon, it's in the link in the description. I just post tips that I don't post on here, so much appreciated. So for the sets and reps, or the weighted, you can choose, but weighted can get you build more muscle, because for sets and reps there is a limit to how much you can do with your own body weight, but for weighted it's really endless, and so you have better muscle building potential there. So if you want to invest in weighted, either find a weight belt or buy one. They're pretty cheap. I got mine for $20. And basically what you do is track the weight over time, see if it improves. And the way to train this is, or what I did was training till failure 3 times in a row. I'm not sure if that's the most optimal, but it's the one that worked well for me. So experiment, see what rep range, what failure, how far you go to failure. See the intensity, and determine for yourself what the best way would be to train these, because the stronger your back is, most likely the bigger it is as well, in my experience. And I've noticed significant improvement for when I train 3 times a week to failure 3 times. That's what I've seen. The other big thing is, if you want to get a bigger back, learn muscle ups and improve them until they're buttery smooth. That's my friend recently told me that, and I thought that was such a cool saying or tip, because he's right. I've never seen someone that can do a very good muscle up and doesn't have a huge back. So that's another great tip. I really recommend that one, actually. And it's fun, you learn a new skill. If you don't have the money to buy a backpack, or sorry, if you don't have the money to buy a weight vest or anything like that, you could use a backpack. And I used to do that. I used to just fill it with 2 20-pound dumbbells and use that. Although I think it was very close to breaking it sometimes. So I wouldn't recommend that. If you can, buy a weight vest or a weight belt. They really save you, And last tip I can give you is to record yourself if you can while you're doing this, because a lot of people think, including me, when they first started, I didn't go all the way down. I would kind of just do half reps, and I didn't even know, because the extra weight made it feel like it was full. But full is pretty hard when it comes to weighted, so do those and record yourself to make sure, because if you're not doing full reps, then you could be missing out on some muscle, Yeah, that's basically it. That's all I have to say. See you in the next one.